This question is going to be talking to us about fixed costs and variable costs. As I always do, I try to come down and just read the bottom section, and I like to highlight it. So it says complete the cost schedule below. When computing the cost per unit, round to 2 decimal places and round all other values to the nearest dollar. They've given us a cost report at 3 different levels of production. We have produced 100,800 units, another one at 128,800, and 165,600. They've told us certain components of the first cost. The very first component that we're concerned about is the fixed costs. We know from what we've learned so far that fixed costs don't change. So the fixed costs will remain the same under all 3 levels of production. So I'm going to make this a little larger for me to be able to write with. So under the second level of production, and the third column is 165,600. The fixed cost for each one of these will be the same regardless of the level because it is fixed. So it's going to be $46,368 at all 3 levels of production. Doesn't matter because we're within the relevant range. Now we have to figure out what the variable costs were. To calculate the variable cost, I can take my variable costs here and I can divide that by the number of units. So if I take the 41,328 divided by 100,800. So I'm taking the variable costs at the first level of production they gave me and the number of units, and that calculation will give me the cost per unit for variable costs. Get my calculator. So I have a cost per unit of 41 cents. That's my variable cost. I can go to all 3 levels of production now, multiply by 41 cents because that's going to remain constant on a per unit basis, and that will tell me what my variable costs are per unit. So 41 cents times 128,800, that equals 52,808. Let's go ahead and calculate that for the other level of production. 41 cents times 165,600. I calculate that to be $67,896 for my variable costs at the larger level of production. I can add these numbers together now to come up with my total cost. So if I add the 52,808 plus 46,368, that's my fixed cost. So my total cost at that level of production of 128,800 is 99,176. Let's go ahead and do that for the production level of 165. I'm going to add my variable cost of 67,896 plus the fixed cost of 46,368. That equals $114,264. So I now have my total costs at all 3 levels of production. Now I can consider what is my cost, my variable cost per unit. We already made that calculation, and that calculation was the 41 cents. So it's going to be 41 cents here, it'll be 41 cents here, and it'll be 41 cents here. My variable cost per unit does not change. Now what will change is my fixed cost per unit, because I'm going to take that fixed cost and I'm going to spread it over a different number of units. If I take the first quantity, first level of production, that's 100. I'll take the 46,000, sorry. We'll take the fixed cost, 46,368, divide that by the number of units produced, 100,800. And so in this very first level, I will have a 46-cent per unit for fixed costs. I can do the same thing for level number 2. I'll take the 46,368 divided by 128,800, and that will be 36 cents per unit. I can calculate it for the third level of production. I'll take the same thing, the fixed cost, 46,368, divide that by 165,600, and that's 28 cents per unit. Logically, we can say the fixed cost per unit will go down as the production increases because we're spreading it over more units. Economy of scale. Yeah, good. So now we can figure out our total costs for each one of these levels of production. For the lowest level of production, we'll have 87 cents. For the medium level of production, we'll have 77 cents. And the highest level of production will have 69 cents. So we've now calculated what the total cost per unit is of the fixed costs, the variable costs, as well as the total cost per unit.